Around the world have congratulated Cyril Ramaphosa on his re-election as president. Ramaphosa beat out EFF leader Julius Malema for the highest office last night in the first sitting of the 7th Parliament in Cape Town. We speak to Cass Cavadia from Business Unity South Africa to hear what the business sector has to say about the latest developments. Thank you so much for your time this evening, Cass. We do appreciate it. I do understand that Business Unity South Africa is in support of government of national unity. Tell us why.
Hi, thanks for having me, and hi to your viewers. Well, we think that at this stage in our country's history, where we have significant crises in our economy, in our social economy, we have social crises, we needed a political dispensation that brings about some sort of certainty, that creates as little uncertainty as possible. And we needed a political dispensation that actually will work with business and other stakeholders to, in our view, do a number of things. One is to protect and promote our constitution. Two is to promote and create the environment for a free market economy with a clear role for the private sector and an enabling role for government. Three is to respect law and order. And four is to have the skills and political will to deliver services and improve people's lives. And we think that the government of national unity, as it is now constituted, does have the potential to meet those criteria. And we believe that's what South Africa needs currently. We do not need political upheaval. We need consistency, and we need certainty that will actually begin to take us forward and begin to address some of the crises we have. And we believe that the GNU has the potential to do that, and has the potential to actually unite the country.
So let's speak about this GNU, Cass, because it's obviously a number of political parties. For now, we know it's the ANC, the DA, and the Patriotic Alliance. And all these three political parties have very different ideologies and very different policies as well, especially economic policies. How important do you think that conversation is in aligning when it comes to economic growth and job creation from all these political parties?
Well, I think the ANC, the DA, the IFP, the leadership has shown political maturity, in our view, in just agreeing to promote and to lead a government of national unity. They would obviously have had to make compromises in their discussion and in their talks. And I think that that's the sort of leadership that South Africa needs currently. That's the sort of political leadership that South Africa needs currently. So of course, it's not going to be easy. Let's not kid ourselves. These are parties that have not worked with each other. I mean, the IFP was in the government of national unity in '94. But essentially, these parties have not worked with each other, certainly not in a government of national unity. There are differences between the ANC and the DA. I'm not convinced that the economic policies are all that far apart. I think there's differences in the way they are being applied. But by and large, the ANC has been free market oriented. I think that all three parties do respect the Constitution. I think all three parties have been conducting themselves in Parliament and as political parties in a way that they respect the rule of law. So I think they have a lot in common. And what we need to do is we need to ensure that we build on those commonalities. We work together. Certainly business is committed to working together, and we hope other stakeholders will as well, to see how we can now as a country do what we need to do, take the hard decisions we need to take to attract investment, create an environment to attract investment, and promote inclusive growth. And I think that these parties would agree that those are the fundamental issues. And I think these parties will promote.
And what kind of messaging do you think this GNU is going to send to the business community, but also to domestic and international investors, Cass? We've always known that President Cyril Ramaphosa has been favoured by business and most likely by markets. I mean, yesterday everyone was posting on X and social media how all markets were in the green. Do you think that this is going to continue in terms of the certainty that's needed by investors or from investors in terms of the stability that this GNU is going to bring, despite the fact that there are different political parties with different policies and ideologies?
Well, it won't continue simply because of the GNU. I think that what we now need to do, firstly, the political parties in the GNU and others that might join, have to actually start doing the work that is necessary and be consistent in their messaging and start showing that they can work together to actually do what needs to be done. Certainly, as Busa, we've indicated that the partnership we've had with government for the last year or so, which we believe is making slow but sure progress, should be consolidated, and we are willing to work with the Government of National Unity to actually bring business capacity and resource to bear to address some of the challenges we have. And I think if other stakeholders also say that, look, let's give this a go, let's all put our shoulders to the wheel, then I think investor confidence will remain high or will certainly be positive, because what it will show is that we agreeing on a path that says investment is important and growth is important. And on the back of that, we can begin to address the social problems we have.
And just lastly, Cass, I'm curious to know about how you think the conversation should go in terms of our bloated cabinet. That has always been a very big point that has been addressed and highlighted, and the public service wage bill has also been a very big issue in terms of how much government actually spends when it comes to that, and the proportion of our budget which goes to that. Should that be addressed, and do you think that that's going to be an easy conversation with all these political parties involved in the GNU?
Well, I think that should be addressed. I think that the fact that we have a GNU doesn't mean that all the crises and problems we've had for the last few years go away. We still have the problem of a bloated bureaucracy. We still have a problem of a fiscal situation and a fiscus that's under tremendous pressure. We still have a problem of virtually no growth. And the political parties need to now get together and say, okay, what we need is a cabinet that's fit for purpose, cabinet that has the skills and the capacity to actually address the particular challenges we have. And the concentration should be on those ministries that are critical to those challenges that we have. We appreciate that now that there's more than one party in the GNU, there'd have to be a lot of horse trading, but we would urge the parties to put national interest ahead of party political interest, as they have done in the last week or so, and we've got to give them the due for that. But we would urge them to continue doing that and structure a cabinet and structure a government that's fit for purpose, that has the necessary skills, that's not bloated, and that will be up and running to appropriately address the challenges we have.
Okay, thank you so much for your insights this evening. We do appreciate it. That was Cass Cavadia from Business Unity South Africa. Stay tuned to South Africa Tonight. After the break, we'll be